Alright, welcome back. Now we are well into the new update, currently at version 2.1. So far the update's been great. I've personally had a lot of fun in the game. Very glad that I decided to play Wuthering Waves back in version update 1.3 when I officially returned to the game. Now this is something that I wanted to do for a very long time. I wanted to take a closer look at the characters in the game and kind of compare them. Now of course I am a player that prefers waifu over meta, so if you like a character, go for it. That's what I do. I don't really care too much about the overall performance. If I like the character, well, I'll get the character. I'm as simple as that. And well, in the new map here, on the new map should I say, we have technically three new characters, but I skipped one. The characters that I'll take a look today are Phoebe and Carlotta. Now, Phoebe is pretty much the new one. Carlotta has been released in version 2.0. And I'll take a look at the overall gameplay, at the design, the thing that I'm kind of excited about the most. Gameplay design, overall skills, and just stuff like that. As I already said, I prefer waifu over meta. I love both of the characters. I think both are great, and so far Kuro's been doing a insanely good job with the game. They truly did deliver, as they say. We promise, we deliver, and they definitely did deliver. So that's a very interesting neuron activating pose there. Oh, that's going to be a lot of neuron activations today, that's for sure. But yeah, that's it for the little intro. Now let me just quickly go and show you the overall stats of my characters here. Now I'll say right away, I played the game free to play. I just buy the monthly pass, and I usually just go for the characters because I don't have too much luck. I can't really afford to go for the weapons. On most characters I use the 4-star weapons, and so far they have been doing a decent job. Now both characters are, when it comes to level and equipment, they are maxed out. Of course, the echo stats are where I'm personally lacking the most. Now you might be wondering, why are your echoes so bad? I know, my luck isn't the best. I did try to get some good stats. I haven't had much luck with that. If there is any other way to actually get an accurate stat, please let me know. So far, as you can see here, I leveled up a bunch of them, and all of them have not the optimal stats. I usually try to go for a critical rate, critical damage, stuff like that. Now, here you can take a look at the stats, the skills. Now, Carlotta is pretty much maxed out. I put great care to max her out as quickly as I could. Everything is pretty much leveled up to the top skill-wise. And no rank up here, so basically the default character unit. I also have to say, every character has a different pose here. I love that. So many small details, it's incredible. Okay, now let's take a look at one of the cutest characters in the game. Now I might sound a little biased here, and my apologies for that. I just love the design of this character. She is just squishy and adorable. When I say squishy, definitely, you can squish the cheeks, and there are other parts of her that are definitely squishy. We all know what I'm talking about here. Well, most of you probably know. And of course you can take a look at the stats as well. A little bit better critical rate on Phoebe than I have on Carlotta, which is funny, because Carlotta is technically DPS. Phoebe can be DPS and support from what I've seen. I also like to call her acolyte next door spoils me rotten, because she definitely does look like my hero. Very, very close design, and of course the card captor Sakura also a huge reference on the character. And here you can take a look at my non-optimal echoes here. The stats are not too good, but not too bad at the same time. I'm not that happy about my echo stats on pretty much any character. I think only on, I think on Camellia I have the best stats. I nail the stats on Camellia weapon too. She's pretty much my best unit in the game at the moment. But yeah, I have done a lot of farming, and yeah, I need to attempt to get some good stats by leveling up all of these other echoes there. And when it comes to level here, I'm still kind of working to get her maxed out. Next week it will all be on level 10 hopefully, and then skill wise, or should I say, well, yeah, skill wise technically she should be maxed out. I have the event weapon also leveled up to level 90. The event weapon seems to work really well, and I do hope that with every new update we do get a event weapon that we can get as a alternative to the 5-star weapon, because, you know, free to play life, I guess, in my case. I know the weapon is guaranteed, I'm well aware of that. It's just if I go and spend on the weapon, I might not have enough asteroids to get the character, and you know, there is a 50-50 that I have to include, so I usually just save the asteroids and the tickets for the characters. Oh look, a loadout. Well, yeah, that's something that a certain other game doesn't have, by the way. Also worth mentioning, that's one of the latest additions to this game after actually it wasn't really requested in this game, I believe, but the developers gave that to us because it's useful, and you know, Kuro actually does care, so we got that loadout, and I find that really nice. Okay, well, that was the little, I guess, just to show you what both of my characters have equipped. Now, both of them are very short, and speaking of the height, let me go and show you the convent animations of both of the characters. This is something that players, I think, jokingly say that there is a power creep when it comes to animations. You know, I kind of agree a little bit, you know, in the joking way, because the animations have improved so much over the last couple months. Oh look, my hero reading the book. Lovely. If you haven't watched that anime, it's fantastic. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, one of my favorites of the last couple of years. Definitely a show that I would recommend that you check out. And yeah, she does remind me on her a lot. The face is so similar, almost identical, and one of the reasons why I like the character so much is because of the similarities. But yeah, very adorable, very highly detailed. That's not to forget to mention that. Now let's take a look at Carlotta's animation. She also has a very good animation. As I mentioned before, they've been getting better and better with every new character added to the game. And that's fine, I guess. I should have switched to the Japanese dub. For some reason, every time there's a little update, I have to re-download the Japanese voices. We had a little update, it was on Japanese before, and it's got swapped to English again, and the Japanese voices are gone for some reason, I don't know why. Now, when we take a look at the overall character design, it's also one of the things where both are actually done really well, and with time the character designs are actually getting better and better. I do like both. Now, if you were to ask me which one I personally would prefer, and this is a personal preference, I think I would prefer Phoebe a bit more. I just love the overall color pattern and the overall animations. I think they're done really well. Such an adorable character, just way too cute. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty simple. If it's cute, I'm sold. As simple as that. But yeah, visually I would say I do like Phoebe a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that Carlotta looks bad. By no mean I mean that, obviously. Carlotta looks amazing, and I think reason that I prefer Phoebe a bit more is the outfit. I just love the color pattern, I think. Uh, I mean, yeah, she's technically a church girl, I guess, so kind of overall modest clothing would fit her more. That is my taste, honestly. If you like Carlotta more, that's perfect actually. But in my case, I do like both characters. I use them. I use both of them. Obviously, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I do use Carlotta a lot. And as well, speaking of the devil, there she is. Well, I have to mention both are short. I think they are one of the more shorter characters if we exclude the super short ones. But yeah, they're definitely on the shorter end. However, as players have mentioned in the past, in certain areas they're definitely well built. Let's put it that way. Let's put it lightly. Let's put it that way. But overall, I would say the effects, especially in combat, when you fill in the fourth gauge, her hair turns into crystal basically. That's a very nice attention to detail. She has one of the more... I think she has more overall details added, definitely in combat that you can notice. The crystallized hair and stuff like that is kind of unique to Carlotta, and I think they will do a lot more of that with new characters. I think Phoebe does have something similar, but honestly I would say on Carlotta it's a lot more noticeable. Could also be the fact that Phoebe's skills are flashy, and in a lot of cases you might not see what's actually happening there. On Carlotta it's much easier to spot because the hair literally crystallizes, and it's very hard to miss if you look at the character. And I have to mention there are some fan service areas. I think every character does have a little bit of some sneaky details added to them. Now, I don't want to spoil those. I know where they're located at. I think most players know where they're located at, but there are some cleverly hidden Easter eggs, let's call them that way, on the characters. And well, the walking animations, also one thing that I like about the game. The characters do have an overall different walking technique, depending on what they're wearing and depending on the surface as well, which is very nice. Always nice to see original animations done to new characters. A different game loves to recycle animations. I'm not gonna say what game that is. I think you all know what game I'm talking about. This game has a unique animation for pretty much any character in the game, and I think players like that a lot. And let's go to the combat part. Let's go to the gameplay part. So I have the HUD off because I did not want the UI to get in the way. I love the fact that this option has been added, because I have to say something that I've noticed with myself, at least. I actually play a lot better when the HUD is off. For I don't know what reason, I'm actually able to play much better when I don't have any UI on the screen here. Okay, let's continue with the boss battles. Now, Phoebe is a Spectro support / DPS, although I personally like to use her as a DPS. Carlotta is a Ice or Glacio DPS. The weapons that they're using are also very different. I think... well, Carlotta is technically using a musket, although it's a pistol, but her main weapon does seem like a musket if you paid attention to the ultimate skill, but she's using a pistol. While Phoebe is using the rectifier, well, in this case, the event rectifier from the ongoing fishing event. It's also permanent. I almost always forget that that event is pretty much permanent, and it's here to stay. Phoebe does have a lot of different skills. It does have a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad. You can just follow the icons, the skill icons flashing, and you can't really miss it. But overall, she's able to do a lot of damage. The ultimate, I think her ultimate might be one of my favorites. She basically bonks. She basically bonks the enemy with the staff. A very fun ultimate, that's for sure. And it's also, I love that it's also tied to the lore of the game. If you play the story, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't, but let's say the bonk does have a use in the story, and I think the bonk will also be used in some future event stories as well. They have set up the game quite nicely for some funny moments, that's for sure, and I'm all in for that. The attacks are all unique, nice, and flashy. I have to admit though, sometimes the flashiness does get in the way, and sometimes I do struggle to see what the hell is happening on the screen. Not particularly that I mind that, it just, you know, sometimes it can be overwhelming to say the least. But they look nice, they look flashy. I'm playing on mobile, by the way. Maybe it might not be noticeable that I'm playing on mobile, but I am. I just tweaked the settings to look like PC, or to look like PC as close as possible. I think I've done a good work with that. My phone does definitely not like that, but I think the game looks very nice. The resolution is key to get the game look really good on mobile. Increase the resolution and your overall experience with the game will drastically improve, because the details are there. The details are not that noticeable on default because of the lower resolution. And unfortunately, ray tracing does not work on mobile at the moment because OpenGL doesn't allow for ray tracing. That's something that I actually had to dig in and check that out, even though if you enable it through a trick, unfortunately that ray tracing, I think it's not taking effect because again OpenGL doesn't allow for that. However, I do see improvements, or maybe it's a placebo, I have no idea. In any case, I just decided to keep that option on because it's already on. I don't have problems with that. If it works, I mean the game works fine, so I can just play. This is upscaled to 4K basically, so yeah, if you see some lag here and there, that's because of the resolution, a very high resolution, and it works really well, but now it's actually graphic demanding on 4K. Okay, well, let's go to the next boss battle. You know, I actually enjoyed boss battles a lot more with the UI disabled. And I'm a little bit surprised by Phoebe now over here, because I expected Carlotta to do more damage than Phoebe. After all, I believe I have a better equipment on Carlotta, overall better stats, I would say. Or should I say better skills? Stat-wise, I think the critical rate is a bit higher on Phoebe here, by about 20%, but Carlotta is mainly DPS. I personally expected Carlotta to do a little bit more damage, but at the same time this is not really a which character is better type of comparison. This is just me having fun with the game and having fun and enjoying both characters, because after all, at the end of the day, the game is meant to be enjoyed, and I fully intend to enjoy the game to the fullest. And of course I intend to share that enjoyment with you guys, because I think you guys also enjoy the game as much as I do. Let's go and eat the next boss. Let's go with our favorite boss waifu. Well, Echo waifu, Lorelei. And let me just heal really quickly. One thing that definitely is a little bit more exciting when it comes to boss battles with no UI is definitely not being able to see your health bar, because you know bosses in this game can hit you in pretty much 1 or 2 hits. So I don't know when I get hit, I don't know how much health I lose when I get hit, and basically the character can just die, and I have no means to see that on time. So this is where dodging, evading, parrying will have most of the importance here. And I actually managed to dodge all 3 attacks there, okay. And yeah, if you've been paying attention to the temperature, it should be fine. I've been playing with like that for months now and this thing still works, so I just assume that's normal temperature. Even though a little bit scary, yes, but should be normal temperature, I think. Well, it's also a test on my own device here to see how long it will last before it kicks the bucket, I guess. Would be a good long-term test that can help players out when they decide to buy a new device, to see how long it can last under, let's say, some pretty harsh conditions, in my opinion here. Well, that was boss battles with Phoebe. She slaps. Well, I guess she slaps is not accurate. She bonks, okay? She bonked all these bosses just fine. And that was actually fairly smooth. Okay, so let's go and switch to Carlotta and let's do the boss battles again. Well, I'm sure the bosses will enjoy me using them as target practice. So, now for Phoebe I have a full Spectre team. For Carlotta I don't have a proper Glacio team. Technically I can use the healer, and I technically can assemble a full Glacio team. But I prefer to have Shorekeeper as the healer, and I don't really use the other Glacio character that much, which is a mistake on my part, because the other character that I have equipped is, I think her name is, I can't pronounce that name, I don't want to butcher it, but the artist. I think the artist is fairly good, and I have her maxed out. I don't have good echoes on her just yet though, that's the problem. So right now one of my only Glacio DPS is Carlotta, and I can technically assemble a full team. I might do that next. I was just busy to level up my characters one by one, and her turn will come very soon, hopefully. Now, her gameplay, both characters are ranged characters, both have good range, both have good AoE damage, Carlotta with her fort and with her ultimate. Well, her ultimate kind of has 2 phases. You have the railgun phase. I like to call it a railgun phase because she's practically using the cannon, I guess, the musket or the rifle. Like a railgun, also have the AoE bomb where she uses it to do AoE damage, and then you have the 3-4 shots that she does in a straight line. Phoebe's ultimate is practically just a bonk. she just bonks the enemy with her staff. So Carlotta does have the more unique, well, I guess both are unique ultimates. However, her ultimate is definitely with a bit more animations and with a bit more stuff added to it. However, the overall gameplay, very fast-paced. I feel like Carlotta's gameplay is a bit more fast-paced. It feels more aggressive as well. Overall gameplay of this character is definitely a lot more aggressive, faster and aggressive. While Phoebe does seem to be a little bit more on the elegant side, but overall both are flashy enough. I also love how both are able to stun the enemy. Carlotta's able to freeze them, and I think Phoebe is able to also kind of stop them from moving, which is very nice to have. Can buy a couple seconds in certain occasions. I also like how the echo skill is very well synchronized with the ultimate on Carlotta. Pretty much when I cast the ultimate I can do the echo skill, which is also doing some decent ice or glacier damage. It has two phases. The first phase is without being fully charged, and the second phase is after you pretty much do the ultimate and then it's fully charged. I played both characters so much, I kind of know when they're fully charged. And honestly, on Carlotta you can see when her fort is charged to the max, basically by paying attention to her hair. If the hair is crystallized, then it's fully charged. On Phoebe, I don't think you can notice that. On Phoebe, I go by the basic attack count, 5, 6, and then I tap and hold, and then I use the skill, and then I tap and hold again. That's pretty much when the skills flash up on the UI, which is currently disabled. So, we're slowly nearing the end of this video, and of course, as you guys probably have already guessed, I don't really have a 100% top of the top like favorite. I do prefer Phoebe a bit more because of her looks. I guess that's just the type of character I prefer. However, I still use Carlotta a lot, one of my main DPS characters. And if you like Carlotta more, that's fine. I mean, we all have different tastes. I mean, we are cultured here, alright? Like, we're all highly cultured here, okay? So, we can discuss which characters we like. I think we all can agree though that we like all characters. At the end of the day, we like all of them. I can't lie if I say that I prefer one. I prefer all of them. And there is a reason why the game is called, well, nicknamed Gathering Wives, right? And I don't mean that to make fun of the game. I honestly love the nickname Gathering Wives because it's kind of funny, and in a way, it's also positive. It's nothing negative, right? It's something that players can have a good time about, not something that they will rage about. It's something that we can call a inside joke of the game, which is not a bad thing. I mean, having humor is important at the end of the day, and so far, I would say the humor in the game has been done really well. The latest story has been a good example of that, and I definitely look forward to see Kuro doing more stuff like that. I love the fact that Kuro is very subtle with their fan service. It's not in the face. It's there. If you look for it, you'll find it. But it's hidden. Not exactly hidden, but it's subtle. They made it in such a way that if you know where to look, you'll find it, and it's a very good way of doing it. I love that. Okay, let's go to our boss Waifu here, and we are slowly nearing the end of the video. I do plan to take out Camellia. That character is I think the most pulled character in the game is Camellia. I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why. That character was just... I have no comment. They done her really well. And we'll take a look at her next. I don't know with who I'll compare her. I think Shorekeeper might be the character that I'll compare her with, but overall, more on that in the next, the next videos that I have, that I'll plan. I did get my, did I get my rear kicked here for a moment? I think I did. I messed up my controls here. I play with a controller, obviously, because the touch controls, I'm not a fan of the touch controls. Ever since I picked up a controller, honestly, I prefer to play on mobile with a controller, because it's just enjoyable, and I can plug it into my PC, or into my monitor, into my monitor, and get a PC experience. But Lorelei has been defeated, and let's go back to the main city here. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Again, my intention was just to do something fun, to have fun, and just to enjoy both of these beautiful characters in the game here. And now obviously I have to ask the question, which one of these two characters do you prefer? Do you prefer Carlotta or do you prefer Phoebe? Do let me know in the comments down below. And well, with that being said, stay safe and I'll see you next time.